Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite podcast. It's called Stop the Internet Podcast. I'm Kelee.
I'm Rebecca. And I'm sick again.
No, you're not.
And I'm down bad crying at the gym.
I know. It's so sad.
In the podcast chair.
I know.
No, I'm not. You're right. I didn't get enough sleep. I went to a hard workout class last night. I actually don't really work out at night. So I think that could be a reason because I worked out at 7 p.m. I'm acting like that's like 10 p.m. But like maybe my body was like, whoa, what are you doing?
Maybe.
So I'm not sick.
No, I feel like you're not.
Okay, good. If Kelee says that it's true.
Also, I feel like we have the power to manifest our lives, you know? And if you think you're sick, you will make yourself sick.
That is,
I've definitely done that.
No, that's for sure true. With sickness, you can totally, your body like knows.
Yes. And also the anxiety about being sick or something happening to you is so powerful. And it obviously, everyone knows this, manifests as physical symptoms.
Yeah, for sure.
It really does. It's like not half. Okay, I shouldn't even say this. This is just not gonna be true. But like so many like allergic reactions are made worse because you panic and like then you just have a panic attack. And I mean, I've just experienced that myself. So that's why I'm saying like, I mean, not like a serious one, but that's why I think that had to have happened to other people, right?
Well, actually, now that we're talking about allergies, I might as well bring up my shrimp allergy.
You might as well.
My top 5 favorite topics to talk about.
I don't think you've talked about this.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I feel like I do.
No.
But one summer I was breaking out in hives constantly. And then I went to the allergist and they did a blood panel and everything. And they're like, oh, you're like a little allergic to shrimp.
Oh.
And I'm like,
a little.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. I do eat a lot of shrimp. But then I also was thinking kind of what you just said, like maybe I broke out in hives for some just weird reason. And then I was so stressed about having hives that they weren't going away. So sure, maybe I was a little allergic to shrimp, but I was more so stressed about hives. And it was like this cyclical thing of like stress about hives, more hives, stress about hives, more hives.
No, really, I think that is definitely possible. And it's definitely different, like depending on the amount of allergy you have. But I really think that normal allergies that aren't like extremely serious, they're just a little allergy. Like you can make it worse by freaking out.
So I will be testing this theory by eating shrimp tomorrow.
See, that's another thing. My doctor was like, about one of the things that made me possibly have a reaction. He's like, well, it didn't come back on the blood test, but like, you still might be. So just like, don't eat that thing. And I was like, okay. So just don't eat it, you know?
But like, what's annoying? What's the point of going through the motions then, going to an allergist? Sometimes you have to go back again, doing all these tests. And it's like, well, it might still not show up on the test. It's like, why am I here then?
That's actually a great question because when I had the blood test, my doctor said straight to my face, it came back negative on the blood test, but there's multiple kinds of allergies and only one of them shows up in a blood test. So you still might be allergic.
It's like, thanks.
And I'm like, well, then why? Like, that's a great point, actually, because it's like, why did I just do only one test then? Why did I pay this copay to do this?
And then I went down there. I saw this Twitter thread about blood work. You guys, I don't know. And it was saying how like some diseases, like an autoimmune disease, doesn't necessarily show up on a blood work panel. Like even if you get like a comprehensive one, it doesn't always show up. And I'm like, I feel like we should be past this in 2025. Like we should have blood work panels that show everything about what's going on in there.
You would think that there would be a company that would make an at-home kit where you could do one drop of blood and it would tell you your entire medical history. We should invent this.
Good one.
I'm just kidding.
Ms. Holmes over here.
I didn't know if you were going to get I was like, I need to be specific in this bit that I'm doing.
You know what? She was onto something until she wasn't.
My favorite part was when she dressed up as Steve Jobs and she's, hello,
that was good.
Elizabeth Holmes. And they were like, Elizabeth, why are you talking like that?
That was actually really good.
She's like, hello. I mean, with her glasses and her turtleneck. Hello.
Like she didn't need to be doing all that.
No. Well, she was crazy, I think.
Yeah, she was.
But name one genius that ain't crazy at the same time. So.
So you're on her side.
No.
This fraud.
But I would recommend the show. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's the thing with Elizabeth Holmes where she invented something and she literally fooled everyone. And it never worked. And it probably never will. So, but like, they made a movie about it, or limited series with Amanda Seyfried.
Yes.
It's called The Dropout. So good.
I actually didn't watch that. I watched the documentary,
okay,
which was really freaky. Like
I don't think I watched that.
Yeah. Oh.
I would suggest it. It was really good.
Yes.
That is weird, though. It sucks that, because they do say blood is like a window, like that it tells you almost everything you need to know, or it tells you the most out of all the tests.
Yes.
Or that's what I've heard. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, because for the allergy thing, it's like they could do the skin test, but he was like, no, we're not going to do that with you. You're going right to blood work. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I thought for sure we would do the skin test.
Do you think it's because shellfish is such a serious allergy that they're like, we need to see if it's, I don't know, dude. That's weird.
Yeah, but I wasn't even testing necessarily for shellfish.
Right. You're just testing for anything.
Yeah.
It's really odd.
And then he was saying, I mean, this is like, now we're just going down a whole thing. But he was also like, we're going to test you for dust.
Oh.
But there's so many types of dust. And he's like, you can only test for like this type. And I'm like, again, what's the point of this?
Honestly, I think they were onto something when they said, it hurts when I do this, then don't do this. Like, I feel like that's the best answer to this allergy question. Your throat closes when you eat shrimp, just don't eat shrimp.
Yeah.
I can't tell you if you're allergic or not, but no, seriously, that happened to me with oysters. I told this story the other day, but basically, if anyone's interested, if you eat raw oysters, it's actually extremely risky because of many things, like bacteria and whatever. But I had such a weird reaction to eating raw oysters over the summer. Never had this before. I ate them all summer, and I had them prior to that as well. End of summer, my nose starts running at the table. I'm like, weird. Salt air. Like, who knows? And then we go to watch the sunset around the corner, and I say something. I'm like, oh, can you get my camera? And my boyfriend's like, why do you sound like an old man? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, oh, that was kind of weird. And then I was like, oh my God, I think I can't breathe. I was like, I think I can't breathe right now. And then,
hello.
Yeah. And thankfully I have asthma. I had my inhaler with me, and I took the inhaler, and then I was fine. Then I looked it up. Turns out all of these things, runny nose, not being able to breathe, those are potential symptoms of eating raw oysters, even if you're not allergic. Even if you're not. I'm like, well, then what is an allergy?
Period.
What is an allergy? My throat closes when I eat it, but I'm not allergic to it. What?
Yeah, I've been saying too, since I found out about the shrimp thing, that I'm going to get retested because I just like don't believe it. And I love shrimp. It's been a really rough 5 years.
Oh, interesting.
But apparently every 7 years, your body resets on those types of things.
True.
So I guess I'll give it 7 because I'm already at almost 6.
Yeah, you might as well just say, live it out the 7 or something.
I'll just keep eating like freaking tilapia.
Boring.
Crab.
Oh, so good. Well, I hope that you're not allergic to it for the sake of your preferences.
Thank you.
Today, our topic is very, very interesting, and we're all going to learn something. We are reading advice or tips from people who have made it. I think this is interesting because everyone kind of has a different interpretation of like what you made it, like what happens when you made it. At what point can you say I made it? But I like these. I was reading through them, obviously, as I was like making my notes for the episode, and I thought it was really interesting because a lot of them are really inspirational when it comes to like working in business. We're both freelancers and we do the podcast, so it takes a different type of work than if you were to just work at a 9 to 5. It's just a different version of working hard, but I do think it's kind of sometimes hard to lock down like what is the different work that you need to do.
Yes, agreed.
So I think that these tips, you could probably apply them to a lot of things, but I think they're especially interesting for us, or if you have a goal that's outside of a 9 to 5, or I don't know. So we're going to read them and discuss.
Yay.
Cool. Okay.
Now down bad crying at the gym.
Everything comes out. Number 1 on the list. Advice and tips from people who made it in life. You don't need a tip. You need to work. I included this because it's giving. Nobody wants to work these days.
Are you including the names? Are these all like...
These are...
Is this like
no.
Oprah? Okay.
No, this was a Reddit thread, actually.
Oh, okay.
So we don't know who said these things, but there were certain tips and pieces of advice that were so simple that it's like anyone who's ever had a job knows that.
Yeah.
Like, so I included the most interesting ones that I thought would actually help you get further along, like in business or life or something. But I just put that one first because I thought it was funny, but there's more to it. They said, you don't need a tip, you need to work. My life did not transform to what it is today because I had a special formula or a secret life hack that no one else knows. It's because I always took the next best action and didn't F around. You already know exactly what you need to do. Chances are you're avoiding it because it's scary. I really agree with that.
Story of my life.
Yeah, it's scary, hard, and uncomfortable, or whatever other excuse your mind has conjured up. Your life will change and you will make it if you start taking accountability, confront your excuses, and do the work. I was like, wow.
Confront the work's a great line.
Yeah.
That's a good reframe.
I really feel that way because I saw another quote recently. I'm going to read it. I put it at the top. For my to-do list and my daily tasks, I use my notes app. And sometimes I put like an inspirational quote at the top because I'm like, this is, I read it every day. I saw this quote that I thought was really inspiring to me. If you do the work you are currently avoiding, you would have the results that you want. I was like, wow, that's actually really true because we all want our lives to like get so much better and like exponentially better overnight. And we're like, well, I know if just X, Y, and Z happen, I would be able to do this. I would make it here. And it's like, well, there must be something that you're not doing if you're not there. And I feel that way about myself.
I feel that in my soul, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I do think that's the best tip is, yes, there are some other things that you can consider in your life that will maybe make you more motivated or make you able to work when you don't have motivation, or a tip to make you more productive. But the bare bones of it is you need to do the work that you don't want to do. And that's what it takes. So I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, I know, because for us too, working in creative jobs, it's a different side of your brain and you don't have that like chutzpah every single day, but you have to, especially being a freelancer, like you have to just force yourself to be creative on days where you like simply don't have the energy because you don't get paid otherwise. And that's a big difference between salary too and freelancing. It's like 8 hours a day. It's like 8 hours of work versus like in a salary job, you might have an 8-hour day where you kind of like F around, but you still get paid.
Yeah.
And the stakes feel a little higher when you're full-time freelancing.
Yeah. I've actually heard people in full-time jobs be like, yeah, I really don't do anything during the day. I've even seen TikToks about it where they're like, I'm at work, I'm so bored. And I will even see comments that are like, what are you people doing? Like, what is the job that everyone has that they can say, I'm not doing anything at work all day? Like, because I need to acquire that job. And I'm like, no, that's a great question. Like, I've asked my friend who is extremely successful in the field of finance. And I remember a few years ago, I asked him, what do you do all day? And he was like, I don't really do anything. And I was like, you make more money than anyone I've ever met. And the answer is, I don't do anything. I was like, what?
It's like, okay.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I can't imagine, but
right.
I'm sure maybe it's their perception of it though, because I'm sure that these people who have made it to like great positions or whatever have worked their way up. You had to do something. Maybe it was easy for you, so it feels like you didn't do anything, but like, I don't know what that means.
Right.
But like, I don't do anything all day. I'm like, what? Like, what do you do when you sit down? Like, I almost want to like go to a take your kid to work day with someone that works a 9 to 5. Because I'm like, no, really, like when you arrive to your desk, like, what do you do?
Yeah. Emails.
Yeah. But what is in the emails?
No, I used to think that when I got my first job, and because like you just think in your head, okay, emails and meetings like take up your whole day. And it's like, unless you're CEO, that's not really the case. I feel like I would have days where I got no emails. Like I was doing work for the most part. But I think, when you get to a certain level, I do think most of your day is just meetings and emails.
Yeah, like where other people talk to you.
Yes.
So maybe that is why you're like, I don't really do like
you're
tasks.
managing.
You're just managing. That's
But that's not nothing.
Right.
So that's interesting. Yeah, I wonder what he does to be making all that money.
I'll ask him for a daily vlog.
Okay.
Okay, number 2. I thought this was very, very interesting, and I do kind of want to work on this year. Change your environment to reflect your ideals back to you. Out of sight, out of mind is real. I'm not religious at all, low-key against it, but something I really admire is that they constantly showcase their faith everywhere, so they never forget it. Posters, iconography, on the walls. There's a Bible in every hotel. You can't forget it even if you wanted to. Do the same thing to yourself. If you put out your gym clothes on your bedside table, this is a reminder to work out. Keep your guitar out of the case on a stand. It's begging you to play it. Buy a digital clock and put it on the wall somewhere you can see it from your bed. Get a whiteboard to write down tasks and thoughts and reminders. I did recently buy a whiteboard.
Yes, you sure did.
If I'm busy, I make a to-do list on my phone, take a screenshot, and set it as my lock screen. It's easy to stay off the path when you can't see the path. So place these cues to constantly remind you to check your course and recalibrate if you're off. I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, that's actually why I like working in coffee shops, because it's kind of that idea of like, okay, everyone around me is working. Everyone has their laptop out. Most people have headphones in, like they're locked in. Actually, this guy next to me today, I wasn't annoyed by it, but he was on the phone like in meetings and on the phone meeting. I was there for like maybe 3 hours, 2.5 hours the entire time.
Wow.
And I'm like, you know what? This isn't even bothering me. Like, I'm kind of like into it. Like, I feel like I'm in the office right now. I'm also like, you're taking a lot of like seemingly important calls on public Wi-Fi, but that's not my business.
I always think about that. I always think about when people are on calls in a coffee shop and it's like, well, you're giving out like the information of your company to like anyone that's hearing you.
It was interesting, but yeah, so stuff like that I feel like works. Like I'm not going to be on my phone if I'm like everyone else is working. Not that anyone is paying attention to me, but like subconsciously it's like I look like a fool if I'm just scrolling Instagram.
It's also kind of like inspiring because you look around and you see everyone intently working and you're like, you know what? I don't need to use my phone. I can stay focused. They're all doing it. I can do it too. Like that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do. I totally agree with the like making things easier for you, like kind of doing what this person said. But also, I was talking about this with like art recently. I like painting, but it is so time consuming to get out a painting set and a canvas and a glass of water and my brushes and my paint and lay them out and blah, blah, blah. Or I could just open TikTok. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why phones are so addicting, because it's so easy to spend time doing it. Even opening a book, you need to carry a book somewhere. You need to bring it with you, open it up to the page you're at, find where you're at. That seems so simple. It's even simpler to open TikTok. I hate that. And I think that if there's a way that you can set something up in your house or your common spaces to make it easy to achieve the goals and things you want to achieve and do, that will help you. Because like the brain, we just do what's easy.
Yeah.
And so make it easy to do your laundry, to do your work, to be productive in any way you can.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. I went through a painting phase myself.
Oh, cool.
We should paint together.
Yeah, I love painting. I was really big into painting in high school and college and even a little bit out of school, I mean. But it's just very time consuming to set up and break down if you don't have like a studio or something. Yeah. But I really do love doing it. It's so fun.
It is, yeah. And it's nice to see a final result of something that you worked on. Yes.
Yeah, I should get back into it.
Yeah.
I would love to share a tip from myself. In the past, I have definitely struggled with productivity and being able to focus during my workday. So my tip is finding something that works for you that can help you to focus better and therefore be more productive throughout your day. There have been so many days where I am struggling to focus and then I look back over my day and I'm like, what did you do today? What are we doing when we're sitting at our desk all day and not getting anything done? So thankfully, I was able to find something that helps me focus better, and maybe it'll help you too. And that is Magic Mind. Magic Mind is a mental performance shot that is filled with natural ingredients that help your brain to work better. I drink it in the morning along with my daily coffee or caffeine, and it helps my brain to use the caffeine better. And therefore, I am not jittery and stressed and kind of on edge all day, which I'm sure a lot of us could understand when it comes to drinking too much coffee. In 2025, we are focusing on mental wealth and habits that will set us up for success in the long run. And for me, one of those things is to be more productive in my daily life. I'm so excited about Magic Mind's newest offering, which is called the 24-hour pack. The 24-hour pack includes the daytime shots, which are perfect for mental clarity, focus, and productivity throughout the day, and the sleep shots, which will help you get a deeper rest and better sleep at night. Those two things for me help to jumpstart my productivity and keep me focused, which makes me feel good and helps me to get things done during the day. If Magic Mind sounds like something you are interested in, you can head to magicmind.com/stopjan, STOPJAN, or click the link in our bio. Right now, Magic Mind is offering our listeners up to 45% off the 24-hour pack, which is a crazy discount and a great opportunity to try it if it's something that appeals to you. And even better, this purchase comes at no risk. Magic Mind is confident in what they've built, and they will refund 100% of your purchase, no questions asked, 100 days after buying if you are not satisfied with your purchase. I love Magic Mind. It definitely works for me, and I would love to share it with my friends and listeners. So if you're interested in trying Magic Mind, click the link in our bio, give it a try, and let us know if you like it.
Another person said I would screenshot my to-do list as my wallpaper during school, and it really worked to keep me focused and motivated. organized-minded. I could see that.
You know what's never worked for me though? Planners.
Okay.
I think I owned one in high school, maybe was the last time, but I've just never, I think if anything, it's stressed me out.
Okay.
Like if I have a lot to do, I definitely keep a to-do list, but like having a planner for some reason, just like, I don't know.
Interesting.
It's not for me, I don't think.
Okay.
Maybe I should try it though, because it's been, like I said, over 10 years since I last owned one.
I don't use a planner, but I have a to-do list in my notes app, like I said, and I have weeks drawn out and certain tasks happen every day. Like I keep a lot of my workflows and information in Asana. And so if there's a long-term task, I put it in Asana, which is similar to like Monday.com, if anyone hasn't heard of it. It's like just a task organization app. And I'll have like check Asana tasks and I'll just make sure that everything is like on time. And then I put workout on there, although I literally like cross that out every day, even if I don't do it.
Yeah.
But then there's other things like every Tuesday I have this job that I need to do. Every Wednesday is like make sure the podcast is going live, like that kind of thing. And then I am able to write out shorter long-term goals.
Yeah.
Not goals, tasks. And so if I'm like, okay, I don't think I can do this task isn't due until like 2 weeks from now, I'm going to put it on next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So it is kind of like a planner in a way, but it's not like, it is dated, but it's just not like a book, I guess.
Yeah, like I have a Notion.
Okay,
I think that's similar to Asana, but more of it's like integrated with Google Calendar, so it's more meant for like life. But the way you use Asana is for your life.
Yeah, I use it for both.
Yeah, it's just like the book of a planner.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I could see why that would be like a little bit annoying to use. Also, I just think writing, like I can just type so fast that anything when it comes to writing out goals, I'm like, writing is a waste of my time. I can just type it and like, I don't know, unless it's like for visualization or something. I don't need to write things.
Yeah.
Maybe I should though. Maybe that would inspire me more. You are the biggest obstacle to your own success. Your subconscious will sabotage and control you at every step of the way until you understand it. Know thyself. Once you do that, it's all easy. And then they listed some subconscious tips. Observation. Try to observe yourself. When your emotions swing wildly, stop and remember what sequence just happened. Think about it, write it down. It can be hard to catch the first few times. Eventually, you'll catch it. Simply observing without beating yourself up about it is a huge step, more powerful than it seems at stopping it in the future. Eventually, you will be able to stop the subconscious problem if you keep at it. I've done this and conquered 2 big obstacles in me this past year. I actually agree with that.
Yeah, me too.
That is a really good tip. I kind of realized that in the first major breakup I went through, I was spiraling and obsessing and thinking about this person all the time. And then I talked to a friend of mine who is wise and gives good advice. And she was like, you can control your thoughts. You just really need to do it and like try and reframe your thoughts. And I was like, you know what? I can do it.
Yeah.
And I did. And every time I thought about this person, I would be like, no. Think about yourself. I am so rich. I'm so successful. I'm so powerful, like whatever. And I was able to do it. That was actually the only time, like other guys that really got to me, like it was more difficult for me to reframe my thoughts. But I think if you really, really try, you can do that with a lot of things.
Oh yeah, you have the power. I think that's a meditation tactic too. Like you're supposed to like see yourself, what am I trying to say? Kind of have like an out of body experience, right? Where you're like, you see the thoughts passing through, you're acknowledging them and you're like watching them as they float away or something.
Yes.
I've never been very good at that, but like I probably should try.
No, I think I have heard that from a yoga teacher. She was kind of saying like your thoughts are just things and you can acknowledge them, and don't like when you can't stop thinking about your ex and you think about them again, instead of being like, oh my God, just forget them, like get over it. You can really just be like, oh, there's another thought about that person. And here's another thought about myself or something like that. Like just, you don't have to spend a million or like so much time on every thought that comes to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 2. One of the biggest things you can address is fear. Fear cripples you, makes your thoughts spiral out of control, brings out the inner critic, stops you in your tracks, keeps you in the comfort zone. The magic is outside that comfort zone. How to address that? You have to force yourself past it all. Having a strong reason to do so helps. It's not a big deal, but your subconscious is telling you that it is a big deal, like a huge unsolvable problem. Subconscious is blocking your progress. I agree with that.
Yeah, like you're your own worst roadblock, enemy, critic, all the things.
I do think once you get past the fear that you have regarding any situation, even if the fear is simple, like I fear that people will judge me, once you get past that, it is so much easier to soar on the path that you're supposed to be on.
Mm-hmm.
Mindfulness helps. Here's something you can try. Sit in silence for 10 minutes without thinking about anything in particular and see what comes up. If you can't make it 10 minutes, ask yourself why that is. I think that's harder. I think that's way harder than it sounds.
I also don't think that and meditation in general, it's not for everyone.
I agree with that too.
Like, just because I can't sit in silence for 10 minutes, like, okay, sue me.
Right. Like that's not the thing that's making you not successful.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you look back on your life and someone says, why did you never make it? The answer is not going to be, well, I can't sit in silence for 10 minutes without having a thought.
Yeah.
I think. Mm-hmm. My brain thinks. Like that's not the reason.
And anytime I've tried, I just get dizzy or I get a headache. I'll never forget when I was still working in the office, someone came in and did like a meditation hour. I think it was an hour. It was pretty long.
That is long.
And I was so dizzy at the end of it. Like I just cannot do that. And I'm sure you could build up to it and you could do like, you could ease into these things. They have apps where you're guided through it. And so maybe you don't start out right away, like sitting on your own in silence. But I'm just like, is it so bad to have racing thoughts all the time?
Racing, maybe?
Just kidding. Not racing.
I do think though that people, they like, my friend does meditation and he's like, even start with 30 seconds. Most people can't even go 30 seconds without having a thought, and then 1 minute. It's extremely difficult for many people to get there.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I could do it. I think I did it once where I was in a yoga class and TBH, I hate yoga.
So do I.
I hate it. And I have tried it so many times because I thought I was going to love it. First few times I did it, I'm like, I don't like this, but maybe it's just because of I'm not good at it, blah, blah, blah. In college, I was like, you know what? I'm going to like yoga. It's going to be my new thing. I took a yoga class multiple days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. I loved the teacher. The teacher was amazing. I think I've talked about her multiple times on this podcast. I would love to spend time with her doing the yoga poses. I'm like, no, it's so boring and it doesn't feel good. And I would rather just like do so many other things.
I know. Me too. Yeah. With working out, it's like, I just like what I like. I'm just at that point in my life where I'm like, I like sweating. I like cardio. I don't want to do anything else. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think I did this exercise with that yoga teacher. And I think I did experience it one time where I was like, wow, I actually didn't have thoughts for a few minutes there. And it was cool. It was really cool because it's like, what do you think when you don't have thoughts? It's so weird. Like your mind almost just sees like, I feel like I remember seeing like a circular window and through the window was just like a pale blue, like almost white color. And like, that's all I saw but even that is a thought, but it's more like my homework, my job, my boyfriend, like that's the stuff you don't want to think about.
It's more of an observation, what you experience than a thought maybe.
Yeah.
But see, like, this is what kind of annoys me when people are like, try meditation, try yoga. It's like those experiences that you have during those classes, like I can have those during Soul Cycle,
right?
During boxing. Like I'm not thinking about my life during those classes. I'm fully thinking about like the dark room, it's the music, the instructor yelling at you. Like I love that stuff. It fully gets me out of my head. So like yoga is not the only thing you can do, or meditation.
I think that's a good piece of advice because
do what you want.
No, seriously, because I think there is so much pressure from like society about these things that are healthy. And like, yes, yoga is very healthy. Like it's very good for your body. I've heard if you do it right, but like just because it's healthy, like doesn't mean that you need to do it and you like can't give up, Yeah. Like if you hate it, just do something else. Like it's fine. Don't put this pressure on yourself to do these things you don't even really like.
Facts. Listen to her.
And her. Okay. This is interesting. This person said, opposite of above, I would say it's less about combating our subconscious and more about befriending it. 90% of our behavior is subconscious. It's us at our core. We don't want to destroy it. We want to cultivate and nourish it. The key for me was trying to identify the deep-seated fears and beliefs of not being good enough or not being that guy or not deserving happiness. These things kept me from reaching my goals because until I deeply believed in my own intrinsic value, I would sabotage my successes. Meditation, introspection, writing, honesty, and authenticity were the tools I needed to turn my subconscious from a saboteur into an asset.
Wow.
I would actually argue that that's the same point as the other one.
Yeah.
It's just said in like a slightly different way.
A friendlier way, maybe.
Yeah, like rather than like destroying your subconscious, this person's like, don't destroy your subconscious, destroy the beliefs that your subconscious believes and give them these positive ones instead.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, it's true. I agree with the writing aspect. I feel like I've really tried to get better about journaling when I'm really down bad crying at the gym.
At the Soul Cycle.
Like, what are the worst things that I tell myself? Like, okay, I'm going to write those down. And it does help.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do with them once you write them down?
They just live in my journal.
Okay.
That I just keep. And I have a designated journal burner if I die before them.
Oh, it's a person.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you, for a second, I thought you meant like an oven that was like, it's going to go off at like this. I love that for you, though. Wait, can you tell us who it is?
That's a joke. My friend from college, we've like had this joke since college.
Okay.
And I texted her a little bit ago because I was like, should I actually have you publish my journals and then I get famous?
In the afterlife?
That's a thought.
Okay.
Because really, it doesn't matter. Once I'm gone, I'm gone. Like, if it's
Yeah.
published, if it's burned, what difference does it make? I guess my name.
Right.
I'll tell you something about my good name.
Oh my God. Can I just go off for a minute about that song?
Yeah.
People need to show some respect. For like, I'll tell you something about my good name. It's mine alone to disgrace. I don't cater to all you vipers dressed in empath clothing. I don't cater to all the vipers dressed in empath's clothing. God save the most judgmental creeps who say they want what's best for me. Sanctimoniously performing soliloquies I'll never see.
Please.
People think that Taylor Swift is just some pop artist. Like,
No one else could ever write that.
you know what I said to my friend who thinks that Taylor Swift lyrics are corny?
Could they write that?
No, that's okay. I will say, I don't love the argument, well, like, you can't do it. Because it's like, well, I know that I can't do it. I'm just saying someone with talent, like if I hear somebody that's like a good singer, or like if I'm watching a TV show and there's like a terrible actor and I'm like, damn, they're a awful actor. The acting is hard to watch. If someone were to be like, well, you try it. Well, I'm not a professional actor. I'm not getting paid millions of dollars to be on TV. And then it's like LeBron James doesn't make a free throw. I'm like, come on. They're like, well, you make a free throw. I'm not getting paid $27 million a season to play in the NBA. Okay. I don't need to make a free throw. He does.
Right.
Not that LeBron can't. I don't watch the NBA, whatever. So anyway, I will say, I'm not going to say that people that don't like her need to be able to do it better, but like, I just sincerely don't understand the argument that her songs aren't deep or that the metaphors are corny.
It's because she herself is maybe a little millennial cringy, wears sparkles.
Yeah,
She's not like Phoebe Bridgers, who's, clearly just like artsy and whatever. But it's like, because Taylor, I think, is more on the nose in real life. That's why.
That's a good point. I have talked to my friend about this so many times because I'm like, I want to understand you. Like, I'm not going to be crazy and I'm not just going to say, you're an idiot, you're stupid, and you don't get it. I really genuinely want to know, do you actually think this is not a good song? And he's like, I liked her early country music because of like the beats.
Okay.
And like the sound of them. Fearless even debut some of the songs on that, which I respect. They're great songs. But I will like read him lyrics of like My Tears Ricochet. And I'm like, I can go anywhere I want, just not home. And you can aim for my heart and go for blood, but you would still miss me in your bones. And I still talk to you when I'm screaming at the sky. And when you can't sleep at night, you'll hear my stolen lullaby. I don't get how you can be like, kind of stupid and corny.
And the fact that
come again.
The fact that that's about Scooter Braun and that whole saga too, I'm like, no one else could write those metaphors the way she, like,
I know.
You hear my stolen lullabies. No one else who went through that would write it the same way. I'm sorry.
Also,
they'd be like, Scooter Braun stole my music to like a beat.
No, really. And like the fact that she says, you can aim for my heart and go for blood, but you would still miss me in your bones. Bitch. No, that's so true. Even her simple lyrics, her song, I Bet You Think About Me, I just rewatched the music video. I was showing this friend. He thought it was a good music. I was like, you know what? You might actually like this song because
Country.
it sounds more like like early Taylor. And I think he did like it. He liked the video. He didn't say it was stupid, but I'm like, even her simple lyrics that are like, well, you realized I'm harder to forget than I was to leave. So simple, but so true, because it's like every guy that ghosts you and drops you, and then they come like crawling back into your life, and they're like telling their friends like, damn, I guess I fumbled that one. I probably should have tried harder. It's like, it's really like that simple.
No, that's a great example to that song. 3 a.m. and I'm still awake. I bet you're fine fast asleep in your city. That's better than mine.
Yeah.
I missed a line there.
Yeah, no, you did. Or
But
you
like,
didn't.
that is just, there's no metaphor. Like, she says exactly what she means, but it's still so like, wait, yes.
Yes.
Like, I bet you're fine in your city fast asleep.
Yeah.
That you think is better than mine.
No, that's such a good point too. Even her storytelling that doesn't involve metaphors, she just gets it. Like she has, I just feel like she's experienced like everything. And it's not even that she's experienced it. It's that she is just good at taking a situation she's heard about or watched in a movie, which she's said, and then she just writes a banger.
Yeah.
An absolute banger.
In your organic shoes on your $1 million couch.
And
Yes!
I love when she spits out the lyrics and she's like, it with your organic shoes and your $1 million couch. I bet you think about me.
Like, do I know
it's
anyone
true.
with $1 million couch? No, but like, you do.
No, but I also feel like,
You do.
I kind of feel like even that is a metaphor, because
Yeah.
she's not saying your couch cost $1 million. She's saying all I ever hear about is your organic shoes, your expensive couch, your does it cost $1 million couch, and you're so good.
So
Like, it's not
good.
that the couch cost $1 million. It's that the person always bragged about how expensive their furniture was.
how better their life was.
Yes, better their life was.
It's so good, you guys. Like,
Oh my God, it's so good.
okay, if you don't like Taylor, you have homework. My Tears Ricochet. I bet you think about me,
But Daddy, I love him.
but Daddy, I love him.
Oh my God. But Daddy, I love him is just so good. Also, I'd rather burn my whole life down than listen to one more second of all this bitching and moaning. Like, she's talking about you and me. Like,
Except not us.
not us.
Because I loved Maddie Healy, okay? I never said a word against him.
I will say, I have never said anything against her character online. I have told my
Yes.
true opinions, which are, I have heard some songs where I'm like, that's not my favorite song. That's not really,
Yes.
that's a kind of a dumb lyric, but like other lyrics are good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never said anything about her character, okay?
Yeah.
I defended her in rooms that she wasn't in.
like a tattoo
Time
golden.
and time again. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
Literally time and time again. Like a tattooed golden retriever, like that can go. That can go. That
See,
can float
I actually
away.
think that one is kind of a good line, because she's saying basically this guy will never let her go, because a golden retriever is very like Velcro dog, and now it's even more than that because they're tattooed on you. Like, that's how much he won't leave her alone.
I just hate the line.
Okay, that's fair. That's so fair.
I don't love that song and I don't like that line. I think it's a little, yeah, it's not for me.
I really like that song. I think the lyrics are very simple, but like, I really like just the song in general. But
It's fair. Totally fair.
yeah,
I don't
anyway.
skip it.
Wait,
Anyway.
one more that's so good is when, so true, but when it's in Nothing New, and she's basically
Amazing
it's
song.
such a good song. It's such a good song. She's talking basically about all these things that are sad, but they're not like life changing. They're just like real, like getting older. How long are people gonna think that I'm exciting, and how soon will they replace me? Blah, blah, blah. And then the one line is, I know it's sad, but this is what I think about. And I'm like, wow, like that is so simple, but so true. Because if we all admitted what we thought about when we're laying in bed, or these like really like superficial things that make us sad, or just things that are just straight up true, and it's things that if you told your friend, oh, I'm spiraling about this, your friend would be like, why would you ever think about that? Like, no, you're amazing, you're great. And she's just like, straight up, no, I know it's sad, but this is what I think about.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
this
real.
is literally what I think about. And I'm like, wow,
Yep.
that's so true.
They tell you when while you're young, girls go out and have your fun. They
And
do
then-
tell you that.
No, literally.
They do tell you that.
And then what do they shoot them down, or like what do they something the ones that actually do it.
yes.
Then they hunt and slay the ones who actually do it.
Ah.
That is so true. They criticize the way you fly when you're soaring through the sky after they said go out and have your fun, shoot you down, and then they sigh and say she looks like she's been through it. No, if that doesn't describe society. No, I do too. I seriously do too. Can we no, I'm gonna read it again. They criticize the way you fly when you're soaring through the sky. They shoot you down and then they sigh and they say, she looks like she's been through it. Because of you! You did this to me. I am who I am because you made me.
You guys, that is all.
Insane.
This is all the advice you need, okay?
No, I know. This has actually... No, I can't stop once I start.
No, I know. Like, I am right there with you. I understand.
I would love to... You know what we should do? We should get back into our other topic, and then we should do a full episode on Taylor Swift lyrics that are deeper than they seem.
Yes. Okay, wait, I gotta think...
We don't have to do it now. We'll have time.
I know, but now I'm like, okay, going through each album.
Oh my God. I know. Oh my God, they're so good. This love is difficult, but it's real. So simple. Oh my God, I could cry thinking about this biatch. I love her.
That's my favorite Sagittarius right there. She really is, though.
No.
Also, like, going back to the journal note, I don't want it to sound morbid. It's meant to be a joke. I just want to say that.
Okay.
The whole, like, burn it before
after
I die thing. It's just a joke, okay?
Whatever.
We all have a designated journal burner.
Yeah. Or we will after this episode.
Something to think about. Wait, that reminds me of that Kardashian episode where Kris Jenner makes them buy their plots for their...
Oh my God. The writers are like, what should we do this week?
That was up there with the
That's
stupidest.
Crazy. Okay, shall I continue?
Yes.
The next few are a little bit shorter than those ones. Oh, this is good. Go in front of a mirror and try explaining to yourself all the excuses you have in your head, like you'd be telling them to someone else. You'll be doing stuff pretty fast because it gets you out of your head and you see how ridiculous these excuses actually sound once they're out.
Real.
That's a great point. I saw a TikTok recently that I wish I could credit the person, but the girl was basically saying, think about your goal. If your goal is to be an influencer, if it's to, who cares, anything, go to the gym, get in shape, think about what your goal is and your plan to do it. Now explain it to me. I'm your best friend. Explain it to me. Tell me your plan. Tell me why you want it. Tell me how important it is to you. Tomorrow, I'm going to check in and say, did you do that one thing? You're going to be like, no, well, I'm going to start tomorrow because of blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'll check in with you tomorrow. They check in the next day. Oh, did you ever do that thing? You know, you told me. They're like, oh, I did not do it today, but I'm definitely going to do it tomorrow. Your friend would get so fed up and let down and they would stop believing in you so fast. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, well, this isn't exciting because you're not doing anything that you said you were going to do. And I'm really let down. You are your friend. Okay. Tell that to yourself.
Yes, that's so true. Be your own best friend.
Yeah, but it's also embarrassing. I'm speaking from personal experience. When you're like, this is what I want. And then I'm like, bro, what the have I been doing? Like, what have you been doing the past 7 days? Like, this is embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to tell people about this because that's how embarrassing it would be. And I should be embarrassed of myself, or not of myself, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I should use that to be like, enough is enough.
Yes.
You are weaving a very tangled web.
And you know how people say, you can't hate yourself until loving yourself? Yes. I actually think that doesn't...
Are you going to say that you can?
Wait, kind of.
Okay, I like it.
Okay, I don't think you should hate yourself for sure. But for me, and I think we're similar, tough love works a little better than no, I'm going to give myself grace today. It's you gave yourself grace the past 3 days, okay? So how about you don't do that?
Grace only works when you also hold yourself accountable in between. Mm-hmm. If it's all grace, it's not grace anymore.
Yes.
It's just compliance.
Totally.
Excuses.
Yes. I'm so not here for all of those inspirational Instagrams. Just give yourself grace, get yourself a little treat. It's no. Enough.
No, I kind of agree. Actually, one of my friends, I was talking about how I don't like negative self-talk and how I don't think it's funny to be like, well, I'm a an idiot, or I'm stupid, or what. But she was like, honestly, sometimes I need to give myself negative self-talk because that's what's going to motivate me to actually work.
Yes.
I was like, okay, you know what? If it works for you. So maybe you can hate yourself into loving yourself.
I think for some people, honestly, it works better than give yourself grace, go get the almond croissant. It's no.
How about you work and also get the almond croissant?
Yes.
I didn't even mean to say it like that.
No, yes. Sorry, now I'm analyzing Taylor Swift lyrics in my head.
What do you got?
Please picture me in in the trees.
Feet, I used to scream.
That was our surprise song.
No, it wasn't.
7?
No. Oh, I think you're having false memories. You really wanted 7.
Yeah, you're right, I did.
7 was spoken word.
Oh, you're right.
Ours were Gold Rush and Come Back Be Here. And
Yes.
Nothing New with Phoebe Bridgers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never mind. Disregard. Back.
That's okay.
Anyway.
You still got it, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Okay. This is simple. I've got one that everybody talks about, but nobody ever listens to. Don't give up. That's very true.
Don't give up.
I feel like people give up a lot when you don't see results immediately.
This goes back to being too kind to yourself. I think it's a
Yeah.
very tied together. Like, I'm just going to give up. I'll do it tomorrow. I think something I've really, really learned this past year, because I tell myself that a lot. Like, okay, today's not the day. Tomorrow is the day that I
Yeah.
do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is, like, you're not going to wake up and suddenly feel like a totally different person. That's just not going to happen. So you just got to do the thing today. Like that thing that you're putting off, just do it today. Because tomorrow you're going to wake up and be like, it's still not the day to do it.
Actually, that's a great point, because I feel like there's a quote that's like, tomorrow never comes. Like every day, you always are going to have tomorrow. So saying you're going to do something tomorrow, when it's like in theory like that, not like I have work tomorrow and like, I don't know, you know what I mean though, but it's like, I'll start my goals tomorrow.
Yes.
You're going to say that every day. Tomorrow, you're going to say it the next day, because eventually it becomes today. And like, this is the mindset you're in today. And like every tomorrow is another today that you're just going to have the same, I don't know. It's tomorrow, I just feel like is like a metaphor that like nobody should actually use. Like not nobody, but like when it comes to starting tomorrow, no. Say I'm going to start on January 4th. Like if that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because January 4th will come, or whatever date, February 4th.
Start on a Wednesday. Don't wait for Monday.
Right. That's a great point.
Your brain and your body doesn't know what day of the week it is.
That's a great point. Okay, well, I guess in a way it does, because your brain controls your body and your brain's like, reset Sunday, like Monday. But the world is the same, regardless of what day it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
People say that with like diets a lot, not to like talk about diet culture, but your body doesn't know it's a Saturday. So if Saturday's like, you go like ham on Saturday and Sunday with like the sweets and the junk food, it's like, but your body doesn't know that.
That's a better point than what that's like kind of what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
No,
you said it.
No, I think you said it. Don't be afraid to leave everything behind if it's not supporting the future you envision for yourself. That's difficult.
Yeah, that's a really hard thing to reckon with, though. Like, you tell yourself lies, I guess, sometimes.
What do you mean, lies?
Maybe not lies, but it's hard to give up on things that you thought were so meant for you.
Yeah. And I also think that you can be happy right now with like how your life is, but you can also want something more. And sometimes, or even just something different. And this new thing that you want could require giving up what you have now, even though what you have now is happy. It is good. But you're yearning for this other thing. And that, I think, is where it gets hard. You know, I feel like a good example of that is, let's say the company that you dream of working at is in a new city, but you love the city you're in. You have to give up this amazing thing to have this other amazing thing.
Yeah.
And that's really hard to do.
You can't have it all.
No, you can't have it all. So sad. If you find your passion, focus on it completely. The 10,000 hours thing really works for proficiency in something. Do it, live it, use it to advance your agenda.
What's the 10,000 hours thing?
You know that Justin Bieber song? I spent 10,000 hours and 10,000 more. No. Okay. Well, if you've seen Justin Bieber's movie Never Say Never.
Wait, yes, I have.
His manager or something was basically like, if you really want to be an expert, it's like a common phrase to be like, if you want to be an expert at something, you need to spend 10,000 hours practicing, and that's how long it takes to actually become an expert, which is an insanely long amount of time. I'm going to do the math.
What's 24 hours times 365, for example?
I'm just going to do 10,000 hours divided by 24.
Oh, that's a better way to do it.
Wait, why doesn't that seem like that much? 10,000 hours divided by 24. So it would take 416.67 days divided by 365. So nonstop, like to be an expert dancer, you have to dance for 1.14 years straight without ever taking a break. And then you will be an expert dancer.
That's assuming you don't sleep.
Yeah, but that's like the point. Like, okay, 10,000 hours divided by 365. If you did something for 1 hour a day, it would take 27.39 years, or basically 27.4 years to become an expert if you only did it for 1 hour a day. So basically they were saying like,
That's
you need to
depressing.
work at things like many hours a day in order to like get to where you you want to be, and you have to still spend years and years working at it.
So if I want to be fluent in Spanish, it'll take me 27 years?
I don't think it's like that. Like, I think it's more like, well, Justin Bieber wanted to be like, at the time in the movie, he wanted to be like Michael Jackson with like the dancing and the singing. And they basically were like, if Michael Jackson was like an expert performer, and if you want to be at that level, you need to spend 10,000 hours practicing those skills to be able to be as good as him.
Got it.
So I don't know if it's the same for like learning something. Maybe becoming fluent though. Maybe you need to talk to people for that long.
I thought about it this year.
Learning Spanish?
Because I love Bad Bunny. And he just came out with a new album and I was listening to it the other day and I'm like, I want to know what he's saying.
Yeah. It is so cool to also go to a different country and be able to speak to people there. That is like the best feeling.
But he's actually Puerto Rican, so never mind.
Oh. Yeah. Well, still, he doesn't speak Spanish. Or he doesn't speak English. Well, he speaks whatever.
Broken English, I think.
He speaks Spanish fluently.
Yes.
So it would just be so cool to be able to talk to him.
Yeah.
That would be so fun.
Anyway. Oh, you know what? Another lyric came to me. Chasing shadows in the grocery line.
Oh my God. Cardigan is one of the best songs ever written.
I think it's her best single ever. You know what? I'm putting that on record.
Wait, single or track? Does it have to be released to the public as a single? Or do you just mean a song of hers?
No, I mean single, like from her albums. Like, you know how Lover was a single?
Yes. Okay.
I really think Cardigan is so underrated as a single. Like, it's so good. And just because it's more of like the poppy folklore song, people, I feel like, write it off. And it was like the first one people heard.
Oh, you think people write it off?
It's so good.
Cardigan is like
passionate. Incredible.
I knew you'd come back to me.
Standing under the porch light.
Oh my God. Wait. I knew you'd miss me when the thrill expired, and I knew you'd come back to me. Even Tolerate It is so good.
Okay, I have a tougher time with Evermore. I will say.
Okay. I don't, but I think as an album, Folklore is better.
Yeah.
But I think Evermore has some bangers.
Oh, for sure. I just like in general.
Okay.
Sorry, we're gonna do an episode on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. That would be so fun. Can we please do it immediately?
Yes.
Okay. Next up. The quality of your paradigm will determine the quality of your life. What? Your paradigm? Do you just mean like how you view the world?
Yeah, like that seems like duh.
Like, what is your paradigm?
Right.
Your perception of things? I feel like that's what that would have to mean, right?
That's not, I don't think that's as profound as the person thought it was.
Yeah, they just thought using the word
they're like, I ate.
They're like, paradigm, I made it. Like, what does that mean? The quality of your paradigm. like, okay. Your life is your paradigm, kind of.
Yeah.
Because your life is just your perception of like, I don't know, whatever. I'm going to look back on this after Googling paradigm. Wait, I need to Google it and read the exact definition.
They thought they ate.
A typical example or pattern of something. A model.
Yeah.
A set of linguistic items that form mutually exclusive choices. Like,
right. So like,
I would think what basically they're saying the quality of your life affects the quality of your life. All right.
I guess your patterns, your routine, maybe. Oh, you know what? No.
But that is what your life. Okay.
I don't like that one.
Yeah, a little. I don't know. They're obviously not successful. Just self-improvement is simple but not easy. I mean, that is so
true.
That is facts.
I love the one line that's like, self-care looks like hard work. I feel like that goes through my head a lot.
It looks like hard work.
Yeah.
Do you think it is hard work though?
Yeah, but I think it's just like, it like flows better when you say it like that.
Okay.
But yeah, like self-care isn't just face masks and like face rolling. It's like, no, self-care is getting up and working. Nobody wants to work these days. It's like doing the hard stuff that is self-care, because you're like disciplined and taking care of yourself.
Yeah, it does take discipline, and it takes effort too.
Yes.
Anything you're bad at is simply a skill issue and can be learned. I do agree with that.
Really?
For many things.
Okay. Yeah.
Because considering the fact that anyone can become a good singer, like almost anyone, I've learned this recently, can, if you take voice lessons and like train your voice with a professional, you could make yourself into being a good singer. And I think Ed Sheeran even said this, because if you listen to like his first songs or like live recordings of him like when he was a kid, he did not have a good voice. And now listen to his voice. He's amazing. Yeah. And look at Taylor Swift, honestly.
One Direction.
Yeah. Oh my God. I watched their
Perfect
X
example.
Factor or whatever, like America's Got Talent
So
thing.
bad.
Not America. Yeah, they were not great.
No.
I don't know what people saw in them.
No,
But look at them now. Look at Harry Styles now.
Yes, exactly.
You really can improve. See people as teachers and listen. They can teach you years of knowledge in a short amount of time. Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I agree. Because even people that aren't like smarter than you probably still have different knowledge than you.
Yes.
If it's humanly possible, you can do it too. I love that. I really feel like that's empowering.
Say that again. Sorry.
If it's humanly possible, you can do it too. Like you can really do anything.
Yeah. That's like the skill one. Like you can do anything.
Yeah.
But do you really think that's true? Like I think about art and painting and drawing. It just comes so naturally to some people. Like I remember in elementary school feeling this way. I felt I loved art, but it didn't come naturally to me. And then other people, I'm like, you're like a professional. Like you belong in a museum and you're 8.
Aww.
So yeah, I wonder about that because I'm sure we can all get to that point. You just might have to work harder.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think a lot, especially with art, like drawing is a skill. And I've even realized that with myself because I was really into art my whole life and I was naturally good at it, but I did still have to practice and stuff. And drawing is such a good example of it is a skill that is learned. And while some people are naturally like, if it's a race track, some people are born like halfway there and you might be starting at the starting line. Everyone can finish it. It just takes, way more work for some people.
Yeah.
One other thing about it coming naturally and stuff, one of my friends, he used to do stand-up comedy and he was like, I have this dream of being a comedian. I'm just going to follow it. And he quit his job and he moved to New York and
Wow.
he started doing the stand-up circuit. And while he was there, he kind of just realized that there are so many people that are amazing comedians. And he realized about himself that so many people, it comes so naturally to them that he will have to work 10 times harder than them to even be as good as them. And he said that for himself, that's just not sustainable. Also, he didn't like a lot of other things about the industry, so he decided to not pursue it anymore. He just lived the dream for a little bit and then was like, cool, I got my fix and I'm gonna move on now. But I thought that was a really interesting, just a really interesting point. And I feel like that's maybe true in all areas of life. Like even Taylor Swift, for example, her natural ability to put words together in poems and music is so amazing. And like, I bet if we sat together and maybe worked with like another poet, we could come up with a song that's maybe like almost as good as one of Taylor Swift's worst songs. But I don't think that, like, it would just take us so much longer. Like she wrote Cardigan in like an hour, or Lover in like an hour. It would take me years and years and years to write one of those things.
I don't think it would take you years.
But maybe it would take someone years to get to the point where they could easily write a song or something like that. Like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it wouldn't take me years to write one, but I think it would take a long time. I think it would take years of practice to be able to write good music as a whole.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think there are many things that people can learn, but it just takes way longer.
Yeah. Like my ceramics class in high school. We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was like the hardest class I took all through school.
But you did it.
I'm totally healed. It's fine.
Why did everyone take ceramics in high school?
Because everyone thought it would be easy and it's not easy.
But it was fun. You didn't think it was fun?
No, it really stressed me out. I got a pit in my stomach every time I walked into class.
Oh, that's sad. In college, I took a painting class and the teacher made me cry. So I feel you.
Those art teachers, man.
They're crazy. Okay, let's do a few more.
Okay.
If this is similar to one we read earlier, you already know what you're supposed to be doing. Do it. Fine. I'll take that as a personal attack and I'll do it.
Yep.
Stacking. Start with a simple task and stack them until you've reached a goal. Stack habits, be consistent, build momentum. I think that's from Atomic Habits.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That sounds
Have you ever
familiar.
read that?
No.
Or did we talk about this? Did you say you're not interested in it?
I don't know if I am. I feel like I'm coming across very anti, like, trying new things in this episode.
No, I
like
don't
meditation, habit stacking. But it's like, in my head, it's just like one more thing that I have to like worry about, I guess. Like, instead of just doing the thing I need to do, I'm going to worry about like, wait, but am I habit stacking?
Right.
You know? So I think that's what kind of deters me.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think you're coming across that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Be brutally honest with yourself. The things that make you nervous and make you feel like you want to avoid them are the things you need to lean into. Running from yourself creates anxiety. I feel like that's kind of like a full circle. Like a lot of them are saying the same thing in different words.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I am taking to heart.
I know. It's a personal attack. It's fine.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, let's do one more to end on.
Okay.
Know the goal and order of steps involved. Take steps. Take steps is crazy.
I actually like that practice.
Yeah.
Write down steps, then your goal. There you go. There's a roadmap.
Yeah.
I do love road mapping. We did that on the whiteboard.
Yeah. I really like that. It's so simple, but I do think so many of those things were like, yeah, saying the same thing in different words. And it's like, there isn't a life hack that's, you're just going to learn it and it's going to be so easy and it's going to make your whole life just a breeze. Like, you're done. No, you know what you need to do. And the life hack, the only life hack is do the things you know that you need to do.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to myself
Me too.
when I say that.
This is all an at me.
At me, for reals.
We'll do it.
And we will do the Taylor Swift episode.
Yes.
Oh my God, that'll be so fun.
I have to really like dig deep.
Yeah.
Right now I feel like the ones we just talked about are playing in my head.
Oh my God, so good. They're all so good. Okay.
Crazy.
Thank you guys so much for listening to our podcast. If there's a Taylor Swift song that you love that you think we should analyze, leave it in the comments because I love hearing what other people think are like the most amazing songs.
It's nice to have a friend. Let's start with that one.
Really?
Underrated.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my, well, you know what? Put a pin in that.
Lost my glove. Give me one. I'm crying. Literally crying.
Wait, what? You are crying.
Lost my glove. Give me one. Aww. Like that's friendship right there, you guys.
That's so cute, actually. We're not gonna be okay.
We're not gonna be okay.
Wow. I'm not crying. I just got an itch on my nose, but it like looked like I was wiping a tear.
I'm sick and I'm crying.
And I'm down back crying at the gym. Thank you guys so much for listening to our podcast. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.